Hello, one and all. Welcome back to a new episode of the Short Story Starter. And before we get properly started, this is one of my favourite Christmassy t-shirts. Any ideas who all the characters are? If you can work it out, drop a comment down below. Let me know. My girlfriend had some pretty interesting guesses. We had Brussels Sprout Man. We had the Fireman. This guy's just a tree. Black Cat Person, I think was one of her guesses. Yeah, let me know. This week we are going to get started with some Christmas themed writing. Not a traditional sort of Christmas theme. There's going to be something a little bit unusual about it. I will now take the time to share last week's story writing prompt with you again in case you'd forgotten. I'm going to share 2 submissions that I received this week and then set your new story writing prompt. Let's get started. Hello everyone. My owner walked off to do some human stuff, so I'm going to remind you of the writing prompt from last week. I'm pretty sure he said that the story writing prompt was, what if cats could talk? He just asked you to think of a conversation, maybe a story, and why is my leg so itchy? Sorry about this, guys. Let me just give it a good lick. Ow, ow, ooh. Okay, that feels better. Let me just lie down and, give myself a good scratch. He says, what if cats could talk? Then he just said something else. I wasn't listening because I was just hungry. Oh, what's this? Oh, let me play with this. Okay. He received 2... Oh, that's a plant. That's a nice looking plant. Anyway, 2 submissions he's going to share with you this week. Oh, my tail's hurting. Wag, wag, wag. Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Sorry guys, I did get a little distracted there, but this is Chonky, and he reliably informed me that he filled you in on the story writing prompt. I'm going to share... Oh, he's off. He doesn't want to hear the story, but hopefully you do. The first story I'm going to share with you is from a young girl called Natcha. Natcha's in year 6. I had the privilege of teaching her a few years ago, and here is what she wrote. What if cats could talk? That would be a weird story, which is why I made a story of Bob, Malcolm and Tilly. On one sunny Sunday afternoon, Bob rode his little bicycle down the street to Claire's coffee shop, which obviously sells coffee, to get a nice hot cup of cappuccino. Bob had 2 little cats, Malcolm, who was a grey cat, and Tilly, who was a fluffy ginger kitten. He had entrusted Malcolm to take care of Tilly, but he wasn't sure he'd made the right decision. After he had finished his appetizing, delicious coffee, Bob rode his bright teal bicycle back into his neighbourhood as usual. However, out of the corner of his eye, Bob glanced at something extremely unusual. Could it be? He rode back to Noah and Evelyn's house, where he saw a little girl apparently talking to Malcolm and Tilly. The girl's glistening wide eyes met with Bob's, and she swiftly ran away. He felt a wave of confusion, a tingle of fear, and a touch of shock. How had his 2 cats ended up there? Later that evening, Bob decided that he was just imagining things. Malcolm and Tilly had probably just run away, and the girl probably just came along and petted his cats. Relieved, Bob changed into his pajamas and went to bed. Bob woke up. It was midnight. How could he have woken up? He didn't need the bathroom, and he hadn't set an alarm clock. After all, what had woken him up? Suddenly, out of nowhere, he heard something. It was talking. It must be outside his bedroom door. His heart raced as a frozen, icy finger ran down his spine. He felt like the walls were closing in on him. Everything around him seemed to lose its colour. Darkness was surrounding his soul. Then there was a deafening silence. Just then, the door creaked open. Bob intensely watched as something tentatively walked through the door. It was Malcolm and Tilly, and together they screamed, "Food! Please!" The end. The second story that I'll be sharing with you today was written by Natcha. Natcha, you might remember from the world's smelliest smell video. She's back again. She has written a story very close to my heart because she has included all 4 of my cats in there. You met Byeeeee last week, if you saw the video. You saw Chunky a minute ago. This is Everest. We called him that because he looks like he's been walking in snow. And then she also includes Leia, one of my little tiny cats, but she's quite shy. She hides away and she didn't want to come out for the video. This is what Natcha wrote. She wrote it in the style of like a play script. So she used all their different names, what they said, and then also included sort of like stage directions. So I'm going to try and share it as best I can, try and do it some justice. Okay. Her story was called What If Cats Could Talk? Byeeeee. What time is it? Stretching and scratching herself. Leia. I think it's still night. Without opening her eyes. Everest. No, it's already lunchtime. I've already been out and chased around 100 black delicious rats. Licking his lips as he sat down on the couch. Chunky. Well, if you two didn't go out all night, you would have woken up earlier than us boys, he said whilst purring loudly. Everest. Watch out. Human alert. As a tall, bearded man walked into the room. Human. Blah, 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 blah. Tapping Everest lightly on the head. Byeeeee. What's he saying this time? Tucking her head under her elbow. Chunky. I have no clue why humans do what they do. Walking off out of the room with his tail flicking. Leia. That's true. Why do they go in those boxes with wheels to get places? Everest. Yeah, human. Just use your legs and jump over the fence. It's not that hard. I mean, we do it every day. Byeeeee. If only humans could talk. That's what I'd ask them. So there we go. 2 fantastic story submissions from this week. I love them both for completely different reasons. Natcha's use of language was absolutely fantastic. And the suspense right before the 2 cats walked into the room was fantastic. The description, how everything seemed to lose its colour, was brilliant. That was inspiring. And Natcha's, as well as obviously including my cats, was wonderful. And I loved the little twist at the end where it was the cat talking about wanting to see if humans could talk. I thought that was a genius idea. Great job, both of you. I will now share next week's story writing prompt with you guys so you can get writing. Okay, seeing as Christmas is fast approaching, I thought it would only be fitting to do some Christmas style writing. And then I started thinking, how could we make Christmas writing that much more interesting? Loads of you seem to really enjoy the world's smelliest smell video. So it's obviously I need to engage you with something fun or humorous or a bit weird and wild. So this week's story writing prompt is going to be called Aliens Ruined My Christmas. What I'd like you to do this week is to create a story in some way where aliens have destroyed or ruined your Christmas. Potentially a UFO landed on your house, destroying everything, meaning that your whole Christmas was destroyed, it was in pieces. Maybe aliens kidnap Santa. Maybe they fly down and they abduct him. Maybe his sleigh crashes into an alien spaceship as he's flying around the world delivering presents to everybody. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. You guys are the ones with the fantastic imaginations. Please, if you would like to get involved, write me a story about how aliens ruined your Christmas. Go into detail. What did they do? How did it happen? What happened afterwards? I cannot wait to read through some of your writing. As always, please send it to theshortstorystarter@gmail.com and I will choose a few to go in next week's video. Happy writing. See you soon.